Hello everyone. So today's is the last session for the AWS bootcamp, basically free bootcamp, day 5. Okay. So today we will see about the resume preparation. Okay, and the some of the guidance, basically how to prepare for the interviews and the other general question and answer session. Basically, if you have any questions, you can just add in the comment box so I can try to answer on that. Okay. So we will wait a couple of minutes so others can join, then we will definitely start on that. Okay. I hope if you haven't gone through the all the 5 days, basically, so you can easily find out in the my YouTube channel, in the live section. Okay, in the live section you can just go through day 1 to 5, basically. Today is the fifth day, so definitely it will help lots of on the technical sides. And obviously, if in 2024 we have a lots of plan, basically. So today, at the end of the session, I will just show you how we will go further, so you can just aware about the complete DevOps series, basically. So normally, I don't want to launch the bundle for the DevOps series, basically. If I do compiling bundle, basically, for the DevOps series, so definitely I will miss most of the important parts. Okay, if I do in the like 1 month or something. So let's say if I add all the tools, basically, then obviously I will not go in the detail for, let's say, for the AWS. I will not cover all the services. It might be 5 to 6 service, basically, because I need to complete all the bundles, other DevOps services, basically. So that is the reason at the end of the session I will definitely show you how, what is my next plan, basically, for the 2024. So then we will go slowly, definitely, but we will go as per the plan, basically. Okay. So if you plan yourself with the proper study, or by taking the seriously, basically, so and just go with your you can just schedule your plan, basically, for next 3 months or so on, whatever, according to your grasping power and your availability, basically. So based on that, you can just design how much time you can just spend per day or week, basically. Okay, or the weekend, basically. And the most important things, as I said already in the number of videos and this session, basically, you need to do lots of hands-on practical. Okay, otherwise you will not get the that much confidence how you can handle the troubleshootings, installation part, and the CI/CD part, basically, then, and monitoring part. Okay, if you do proper real-time hands-on practicals, you can just you definitely will get more confidence on that, on the services. Sometimes you feel like, if you don't aware about the Terraform, Kubernetes, or any Jenkins, or any CI/CD tool, basically, you might definitely feel like, मेरे से होगा कि नहीं, right? Because it's a unknown area for us if we learn the new technology. Okay, but after you grasping the getting the knowledge, exploring the documentation, basically, slowly, definitely, gradually, basically, we will get the confidence on that technology. Okay. So when I started CDK as an infrastructure code, basically, I was also the same thing, like a bad habit, basically. I love to create the resources by using AWS console. Okay. Till I think last 2 3 years, before last 2 3 years, I have that bad habit, basically, just create the resources by using AWS console, because I thought कि ये तो बहुत easy हो जाएगा, right? Just console से ज़्यादा कुछ मेहनत करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बेसिकली इजीली हो जाता है, जस्ट ऑप्शंस मिल जाता है फटाफट ग्राफिकली, और जस्ट सेलेक्ट कर लो और लॉन्च कर दो. बट जैसे कि रियल व्हेन वी सी इन द एंटरप्राइज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, लार्ज स्केल इंडस्ट्री, बेसिकली, that will not work, because we need to handle the multiple AWS accounts, multiple environments there. Okay, as we know, for the single environment, like a single application, we have a 3 AWS accounts at least, dev, QA, and production one. Okay, so we need to handle that 3 account, basically, for the any particular applications. If you have hundreds of applications, like e-commerce, Netflix, or any web stream media, basically, applications, so we need to handle multiple AWS accounts. So, and on that series, definitely graphical way will not help, and that is not a feasible way, basically. Okay, so that is the reason. Then, for now, after 3 years, I just working the CDK with the confidently, basically. and I already launched that CDK 10 days series on my YouTube channel, so you can just go through that. CDK is ultimately very good tool, basically similar to Terraform, like infrastructure as a code. Also, most of the things people use infrastructure as a code, Terraform, then CDK, Cloud Development Kit, basically, which is support only for the AWS, and the other stuffs cloud formation itself. Okay, for the to automate the resources and the management, basically. Okay, so for today we will start with the session. Now it's almost 9:06. Okay, I hope you gone through my other videos, which day 4, basically. And just before starting the session, I just remember one question, basically. On the first day, someone asked the question about how to handle the 3 month notice period. Someone asked, I don't remember the exact name, but just to answer on that, it might be you guys also can help out on that. So there are multiple ways we can handle the 3 month notice period, because and nowadays we know when company want to hire someone, he needs immediate candidate, right? Immediate joiners, as we seen in the Naukri.com or other job portals. But when we want to release from the current organization after putting the resignation, they won't allow us to relieve within a immediate basis or within a short period of notice, right? So that is the reason there can be multiple ways, like if your company has a payout options, like you can buy a 2 month notice period over there, you can just try with that. Okay, if you have a company policy, basically. And if you don't have any critical dependency over there, critical dependency, then you can obviously you can just request to your manager, if you have a good bonding with your manager, basically, and you can just try to be honest there. If your manager really support you, so then definitely he will not bother you, basically, at that period. Okay, if the manager is good with you, okay, on that. Otherwise, nowadays most of the candidate face the micromanagement issues, so there might be different challenge there. But if you have a payout option, so definitely you can just go with that. Okay, so other questions we will definitely come after the session, basically. So I'm just Sidhu is asking, what are the skills required for cloud support and cloud operation engineers? Yeah, if you want to support perform the support role, basically, definitely you should aware about the AWS most of the services. Then troubleshooting area, how to resolve if you get any alerts or issues, basically how you can quickly resolve that issue, and how to get resolve the issue, basically. You need to understand the end-to-end process for the particular services. Let's say if you get the connectivity related issues, so at that point you should aware about the VPC security groups, basically the networking protocols, so that kind of areas. And I would prefer you can just go with the all the AWS services, basically, which are the very important. So you can just definitely go with that, and also troubleshooting areas, the how you can handle the day-to-day activities. Let me share my screen quickly, so you can able to view that. Let me know once my screen is visible to you. Just type yes in comment box, so I can just ensure that. Are you able to see my screen? If you are able to see, just type yes, so I can just ensure that. If I am audible and you are able to see my screen, can you please type yes in the chat box? Okay. Thank you, Arjun. So now today we will see for the resume preparation guidance. Basically, I have already prepared the videos, which you can. I have already given the links in here. Okay, let me give you this link in the chat box. Okay, so here you can get the. I have already discussed the detail point. Basically, how you can prepare the resume, how you can use the font, basically, in the professional formatting. Okay, which website you can refer to create the ATS friendly resume, basically. I have mentioned both the video link here. Okay, you can just definitely go with the details. Just for the reiterate the information, basically, if you are preparing the resume, to prepare the resume, you can use any ready-made template which is available in the Canva basically, or you can just get from the any websites. If you just search at a free resume template, you can get the lots of resume there basically. Also, if you can use Canva, okay, if you, it's a free basically free edition you can use. And on the home page, if you just type resume basically, and if you can open it, you will get the number of resume format. So just don't try to use this kind of a photo frame, okay. If you can get the proper professional resume, like this way, like, or any which doesn't have any photos, you can just use any professional kind of formatting basically. You can see number of formatting here, okay. If you like someone which is similar, looks very good for as a professional point of view, you can definitely just select that, just download that template, and you can use and customize your resume basically, okay. So you can find out a number of resume here, different ways basically, this way, okay. In Canva you can just try to use that, okay. And if you don't want to use any ready-made templates, you can just if you have a good skill on the Word basically, so you can just try on that as well, okay. MS Word. So just to reiterate the information basically, which things I will not show you today, the resume format basically, you can just choose whatever the professional resume, okay. So the next coming couple of days basically, I am just preparing my resume basically. So I will definitely, once prepared, I will share with you, so you can just refer that as well if you want to refer, okay. So just the what things we need to cover basically in the resume, okay. So obviously the important point I just added here, like contact information. Obviously you need to add the your complete name, phone number, email address, okay. And if you have any project documentation which you have a habit basically, like you are maintaining your project troubleshooting skills or the documentation of the any technologies blogging basically, you can just add on the front page basically, okay, first page, GitHub link or any LinkedIn profile basically, okay. And on that thing you need to do proper impressive formatting there, and use proper keywords to highlight basically. If let's say if I want to show you your profile basically, so I, at a first point of time basically, I need to, it has to be clear basically what skill you have basically, you guys, okay. Like if I want to purchase any DevOps skill person, so if you send me the any LinkedIn profile, so that should be highlighted over there, like what roles you are performing right now, working basically, what skills you have, which tools you have work on that. And the other, like a professional summary. In professional summary, just 4 or 5 lines basically, don't just write down the 10 or more than that, okay. So in the professional summary, on the top of the, after the contact information, you can just highlight basically the number of total years of experience in the year basically, okay. Then your high level skill and the any in the opportunity basically, career achievements in the short term basically, okay. If you want to add any other stuffs basically, you can definitely go with that as well, okay. But don't try to write down the bigger one, just 4 or 5 lines is sufficient basically, okay. So then you can just add the section basically, where you can showcase your you know proficiency basically, which skills you have basically, okay. Then work experience, just try to put the latest company on the top basically. And after that you can just mention the duration, employment period basically, from to latest present of the date, or whatever number of period basically, from to two, okay. You can just on the chronology matter order basically, you can just add that, okay, reverse order. Latest one should be on the top basically, okay. On that you can just add the job titles, your day-to-day activities, okay. Again, just try to, don't try to add the 20 30 day-to-day activities basically, okay. So you can just add first 10 roles and responsibility, which is more impressive basically, okay. Let's say you want to, you already in the current role, you are working as an installation of any packages or FTP servers or blah blah blah, whatever basically, okay. Instead of adding that, if you want to add any like impressive keywords basically, okay, for the any EC2 instance manage or any what you can say, any impressive words, like the management of the operating system and the patch management kind of, you can use that kind of keywords, okay. so you can just get the in the resume format basically. Or I have already prepared one video how to just generate the roles and responsibility by using ChatGPT. Okay, so you will get the professionalism keyword there. Okay, to that's that point you can use an in your day-to-day activities basically, roles and responsibility. And if you are doing any sendmail installation on the Linux base basically, and configuring the security group in the EC2 instance for the AWS basically, so that is a very low level skill basically. So if you can avoid that, just add the major one basically first. So the whoever reviewing your resume basically, he can just get the idea you have a proper core level knowledge basically on the particular area. Okay, so that kind of way you can just add your day-to-day activities, roles, and the location basically, and the name of the employment basically, company name. Okay, education, definitely you can just add education. If you can just skip the lower education like 10th 12th, that which will be also fine, but you need to add at least your whatever the higher education like graduation or post graduation. Okay, then if you have done any certification, any services certification basically, you can just add that. And if you have any major other stuffs like achievements, if you have worked on the any project basically, you can just add that as well. So just one thing I remember here, so I thought let's mention here. So certification basically, doing certification will not give you the guarantee for the job basically. This is the thumb rule of the IT. But sometimes what will happen basically in the, if you go in the bigger organization like enterprise organization, they want to show their client basically they have a certified candidate. Okay, in that situation they might ask the candidate to complete the certification, and as a candidate we can either and that at that place if you want to do certification basically to showcase your show skill basically as the additional part layer basically. So if you have a company providing the reimbursement policy for the certification, so you can use that policy basically instead of spending the money from your pocket basically, you can just use company reimbursement policy. Okay, so definitely you can just refer your internal portal basically HR policy. So if you it's allowed to you, or if you are applicable to have a certificate, and if your manager approved that, then definitely you can just go with that. And then after certification completion you can just ask for the reimbursement. Okay, there might be a different process, it's based on the company to company. So but you can use this reimbursement policy basically. Okay, if there are any no reimbursement policy and still company asking for the certification, then obviously you can just go with that from your pocket basically. Okay, so having a certification it's not a mandatory part until and unless company asks you to have a certification. Okay, so you can use this option basically. Or sometimes you will get the, if you attend any AWS, let's say for the AWS. Okay, if you attend any session for the AWS online sessions or any webinar basically, you might get any free voucher from them basically. Okay, if you get that voucher you can just use that voucher as well. Okay, voucher code. And every year I think November to December period there is a Black Friday sales will happen basically. Okay, in that season basically you will get 50% discount on any certifications. Okay, Kubernetes or other stuffs, you can just grab those options as well. Okay, opportunity. So use ATS friendly keyword basically. This one I have already prepared in the these videos basically. You can just go to that, you will get the detailed idea. Okay, so for now I will not go into that in the detail basically. So you can use that specific professional keyword basically. Okay, and obviously the resume basically, if we already working professional basically, we need to up, update our resume time to time basically, let's say after 6 months or something. Because after 6 months we do lots of changes right in ourselves, like we work, we learn new skills or any other services, so we can just update those. Okay, so the resume pages should be obviously you can just try with the 2 pages resume basically. So but if you have a proper relevant any information, so it's okay to sometimes okay to have a more than 2 pages, but not the very lengthy basically 4 pages 5 pages something. Okay, but try to highlight very important stuffs on the first two pages basically. Okay, first page is very important. So normally interview where's the interview panel or HR basically, they will screening. And the second page also, you can try to make a impressive basically. Okay, with by using professional language. Obviously you can use the chat gpt or any other AI tool basically to have a proper professional language basically. Okay, so okay, I will come to best with learning. Okay, I will come after this session basically on the question, then we will definitely discuss on that. So now interview preparation. I have already prepared the interview preparation videos, mock interviews basically on my channel. So you can just definitely go through that and you can just watch, okay, those as well. So apart from that, definitely you should have a good communication skill if you want to go to for the interview preparation basically. Communication first, the HR will check your communication, and obviously interview panel also will check the communication skill basically, because in the project we need to interact with the client, right, multiple clients and the internal teammates. Okay, so communication should be good basically. Then when we prepare for the interview preparation, we need to prepare for the automation skill as well. For the automation skill, you can just use any other, whatever, wherever the automation skill you can just learn basically, like as a, if you see the example for the language basically, python shell scripting or something. Okay, where you can use sometimes whenever the that kind of task you will get in the project basically. Okay, and as an infrastructure as a code basically, definitely you can just go with the terraform. Then if you have a, if someone asks about the, in the when you apply the job basically, you will get the JD over there, right? What is the job description you want to apply basically. So if they mention the CDK basically, specifically, then you can just have a go through that the CDK basically. Okay, then cloud formation as well, based on the job description wherever you apply. So if they mention specifically, candidate should have a knowledge on the CDK or cloud formation or terraform basically, you can just read that before going to the interview basically. Okay, then version control, obviously we should have a knowledge on this gitlab and the github basically. So we will cover in the our next upcoming series basically what is the git version control system basically, which is doesn't matter which CI/CD you use basically, but these are the very common architecture, Git or GitLab, GitHub. Now most of the people project use this version controlling. Okay, then project management, definitely we will have access to this Jira ticketing system basically to track the daily task. Okay, then for the documentation, Confluence page. Okay, we don't need to any expertise. These are the very basic tools basically. You can just easily learn. Okay, then for the internal communication, at least these are the tools basically: MS Teams, Zooms, Skype, and the Slack channel basically. Okay, then CI/CD tools basically. If you grab the knowledge on the Jenkins part, GitLab CI, okay, Circle CI basically, and then the GitHub Actions. Okay, you can just aware of this area basically. Then containerization, obviously we know about the Docker. Okay, then container orchestration, Kubernetes. You should have a knowledge on the architecture, power deployment, replica sets, whatever the other stuffs basically, networking part. Then any troubleshooting areas, how to check the pod status, pod logs. When after the deployment, what monitoring stuffs we do, like, no, after the deployment successfully completed, then we need to monitor the pod status as well, right? If it's in running state or any crash loop back, any error mode basically. Okay, so that troubleshooting area we also should aware about that. Okay, obviously. And then cloud services, if you are applying for the AWS or Azure or GCP or any other cloud basically. Okay, so you can just have this knowledge basically. So only if you have an important service aware, which is also help you basically, like EC2 instance load balancer, VPC, auto scaling, CloudFront, S3 bucket, CloudWatch, CloudTrail, the web service, security services basically, the NSCL security part, and there's some terminology basically for the other services, Lambda function, serverless architecture basically, Lambda function, API gateway, SNS. Okay, Elasticsearch or something. And for the monitoring, you can obviously just have a basic idea about the Nagios, Grafana, Prometheus, CloudWatch if you are using the inside the AWS basically, Splunk for the log monitoring or other stuffs, Elasticsearch, Kibana, right? ELK. Obviously you should have a troubleshooting knowledge, okay. Troubleshooting skills basically, how quickly you can just identify the root cause of the issue and how you can solve, okay. Then security practices, how you can maintain the infrastructure security to protect from the spammer basically, okay, attackers. Agile methodology, you should aware about the how the sprint planning happens in the project basically, kanban board or something, right? This way to this is just for the additional area. If you don't aware, you can just word 2 3 lines for this agile methodology basically, okay, how the project work in the real time. Then architecturing and the documentation skill, okay, if you are in the project, if you are using the confluence basically, so how you can just do proper formatting. These are the just basic awareness basically. You don't need to have any expertise on the major part basically, but at least do the proper documentation for the infrastructure related or your troubleshooting notes basically, okay, in the project basically. If someone asks in the uh, day-to-day activities in the interview panel, so you can just ask the you can just explain like, I have a skill about the architecturing or the documentation skill basically, how we can maintain the project information, okay, internally. Their knowledge of in networking, obviously this is also the important part, okay. VPC, as I said, NACL and the security groups and the basic network principles and protocol basically, okay. These are the some areas where we need to prepare before going to the interview basically, okay. And apart from that, if you have a specific other stuffs mentioned in the JD basically, definitely you can just go through that as well, okay. Now, how to apply for the jobs? I have already prepared one video. Now, I don't want to consume that part basically. So, I have mentioned the links on this GitHub project. You can just definitely watch that video. I have mentioned in the detail basically. Okay. After that, even if you have any questions, you can just add the comment in that video basically. So, I will try to answer. Okay. Now, coming to the just general part basically, how to increase professional network. So, as I said, there are multiple ways we can apply for the jobs, right? One is either through the our friend circle, okay, or the any internal referral basically, and the other stuff is like a direct apply basically from the company portal or any Naukri portal, okay. So in this case, in the referral way is very impactful basically. This that will help you to it will help, and maximum chance basically to select for the interview and the, sometimes obviously for the job position, okay. So just you can whatever the skills you have, let's say you have a job skill, okay. So you can use LinkedIn platform platform basically to connect the other DevOps folks basically, okay. Just don't try to just say sometimes some people will what things what happen basically. So just they connect and accept, once that person accept the friend request basically, so thus they bombarding the questions like, do you have any openings in your organization, or can you please help me or something, okay. So normally as a mutual understanding, you can just make a friendship with them, okay, gradually. Then once you have a proper bonding with them, then you can just ask about the any additional help basically, okay. So don't try to or expect the immediate answer from that third person, with your the same domain skill. If you resend the request to 10 guys, you might get the response from the few one basically, okay. So just do a mutual understanding with that situation, okay. Then you can also use AI tools, chat GPT basically, to improve our skill basically, like you can use prompt engineering basically properly to the chat GPT. So how we can use effective chat GPT prompt basically, okay, to some prepare for the interview questions or any real time issues or any resume preparation guidance basically, or if you have anything like any communication related issues, language, words, okay. You can do proper prompting there, ask proper questions, okay. Then you will get the proper resolution there, okay. So now coming to the next, definitely we will that is for the today's session basically. So now we will definitely come to the question and answer part. So before that, so let me show you one thing. So I have prepared about the next plan basically for the 2024. So now I am already working with the AWS Zero to Hero playlist, okay. You can see the link in this GitHub project basically. I have a 30 days plan basically, okay. So in that 30 days, I have you can see the AWS video playlist basically. I have already added 2 3 videos there. introduction, and the computer. Okay, elastic compute basically EC2. So other stuffs, load balancer, auto scaling groups, S3 bucket, IMA, roles, users, policy management basically, cloud watch, cloud rail. So most of the services I am trying to create, cover over there basically. API gateway, lambda functions, CDN, route 53, ECR, EKS, secret manager, system manager, migration services basically. Okay, cost optimization, reserve instance, and the saving plan, which is very important. How to optimize the cost basically. Backup service, CLI management, serverless architecture. Then two projects we can see there, tier two tier project or and three tier project basically. Then how we can ask the chat GPT effective, as I said, prompt engineering to work day to day activities with your AWS tasks basically. Okay, so and then we will see some intro questions. Okay, I have already uploaded the intro questions on my github project basically. GitHub project you can just find out, okay, on my GitHub profile basically. Okay, and apart from that, if you need any additional questions, I have already add the questions basically on my topnet page. Okay, which is more than 800 question basically, which is not a chat GPT generated questions. These are the real time questions basically. Here is the link. Okay, these are the 800 plus interview questions basically. If you guys really interested into that, you want to purchase, it's just a 300 rupee charge basically. It's not more than that. So we can just definitely try with that 800 plus questions. Okay, so it will gives you more confidence with the number of questions basically. Okay, and then after this AWS series, we will try to cover the git basically. It will not take too much time, maybe 2 or 3 sessions sufficient. Okay, git zero to hero, then Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, then monitoring. Okay, we will try to cover 2 3 monitoring tools over there: Grafana, Nagios, and the other. CloudWatch is not a major one, so we will try to refer other one, Grafana and the Prometheus or ELK. Okay, then DevOps interview questions. Okay, as I said now, either if you want to really interested in the paid version, okay, is which is a very lower cost, 300, which is not more than, you can easily afford that. Okay, so which will definitely help you to get the more real time questions basically. Okay, then we will see about the project management, how the project works basically, day to day activities, sprint planning, and the how we can track the Jira ticket status, the Jira workflow basically, how to change the status after these, adding some comments in the Jira ticket basically. Okay, then how to handle the client calls, internal meetings, daily sync ups basically, stand ups. Then how to generate the RCA report. If you already aware about the RCA report basically, so that is very good. If you are not aware, we will see in that session basically. Root cause analysis, when you face any issues in the real time cases basically, so after resolution you need to submit the RCA report. Okay, root cause analysis report, which where you need to mention all the steps basically, what was the issue, what was the finding, how you can find, and how what was the solution you implement basically. Okay, how much time it will take, how what is the business impact over there. So these are all the steps you need to add in the root cause analysis report basically, RC report. Then tips and tricks for the free certification. Okay, we will come to that part. Okay, apart from this, if you have any urgent, if you need any urgent help basically, so obviously I'm available on the topnet basically. You can just try to, you can just take any one-to-one appointment basically, if you need any specific dedicated session basically from me. Like I have added multiple services like resume review, AWS guidance, then complete interview preparation, mentorship, mock interviews. Okay, and other stuff basically. Okay, so now coming to your question basically, so let's see one by one. So let me pick one by one question basically. Pratik asking, I am working in network field last 6 years. Okay, and now hands-on experience of 8 months AWS DevOps. Okay, can I get any jobs in DevOps sector? I am diploma in electronics. Okay, so Pathik or Pathik, not sure. Sorry for that, but so basically to answer on your question, basically definitely you can just go with the DevOps as well. If you have already diploma which is relevant to degree, I guess, or not sure. Okay, so education wise don't matter, but you already have a networking experience in the for the 6 years. Okay, and now you have a 8 months of experience in the AWS DevOps. Okay, definitely if you do proper planning for the hands-on practicals, as I said, hands-on practicals and the theoretical knowledge with the DevOps tools, basically AWS, then Terraform, Kubernetes monitoring tools, CI/CD, how to set up the pipelines, basically. So if you have a proper knowledge on the hands-on practicals on that, and if you are able to manage the interview, basically definitely you can get the jobs. Okay, so don't worry about that. But for that you need to do lots of hard work, basically, like just give the, you can set your agenda and the goal, basically, let's say 2 months or 3 months, a daily basis, basically you can just set your 2 hours or something, depends on your availability. Okay, timing. So on that you can just do proper study and hands-on practicals. Okay, the better thing is AWS provide the 1 year free trial account, so you can use that definitely, and you can have your practicals on that. Okay. Yeah. So next question, Arjun. Arjun is asking best way to learn Linux for cloud or DevOps. So in the tradition earlier period, like before 10 years or something, so you should have a proper expertise in the Linux. But now as a DevOps or cloud engineering, if you aware a few of the things, like how to use sorry, Linux shell, basically how you can execute the commands, like file permission, file management, basically, then user management, and the some shell based commands, how you can write down the shell script. Okay, how you can change the permissions and how you can execute that. If you aware about these kind of skills out there, definitely it will help you to manage the DevOps, basically Linux in DevOps, basically. Okay, so you don't need to study, like shell scripting, raid raid series, raid type, basically raid 1 to 5 something. Okay, or the run level. So if you just have a basic knowledge on the how to use the cell prompting, basically you can just that will be sufficient for you. Mainak is asking, like, is this training is going to be enough to look for a job? So basically this is just not the detailed training, basically this I just try to cover the major services. But apart from this, you need to do study on more other services as well, in the deeper side, like how to set up end-to-end process, how to make a different connectivities, like application to database servers, how can manage the deployments, end-to-end process, basically dev, test, production. Okay, or if you do the own practicals, like your own machines, so you can just have at least one CI/CD pipeline over there. Either you can use GitHub Actions or Jenkins pipeline. Okay, and you can try to deploy EC2 instance, normal PHP based applications, then Lambda function deployment or any container based deployment, basically you can just try with that and do proper hands-on practicals. So after that you can just try for the jobs, basically. Okay, because in the real time interviews they will ask lots of questions on the other troubleshooting areas. Okay, is there are any other questions, so I can just try to answer. If you have any other questions, you can just ask, otherwise we can just wrap up for the today, and we will see in the next series, basically. Okay. Yeah, if there are no questions, then we can just wrap up for the today. And thank you for the joining today's session. Okay. Even after that, after this session, if you have any other questions, you can just add in the comment box. Okay. So I will try to answer that. Okay. Thank you for the today's session. Okay. Yeah.